Who here actually believes AI is going to replace 90% of the coaches who ignores this? Drop a me in the chat. Giacomo, Alan, because I'm fucking banging this drum all day long, because I've been in this game a little while. I first sold a coaching program online in 2015, which was a shitty PDF or Word document. Excuse my language, I swear some bit sometimes, for like £40. And that was like when social media kind of first came out. This is the same opportunity again in terms of like how the markets are really changing, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So in terms of getting started, the first thing to talk about is transform your business. So this is going to go through step by step what you kind of need to be focusing on and how you need to be kind of thinking. And I've got some cheat sheets and stuff I'm going to give to you as well. So first thing we've got to think about is, in terms of from a coaching perspective, like in 7 Scaling Systems, we work with the best coaches in the world. We have coaches doing all the way up to £800,000 a month. So I see on a very broad perspective of exactly what you can do with these tools. And I've also got some incredibly smart friends and some incredibly smart people being spoken at our events about AI, spoken on our podcast. So very much kind of in the know with this. So if we look at what AI is there for, firstly, is for leverage. Secondly, it's for like 24/7 things just to run seamlessly. You don't really need tech stuff. It's so good. You can just talk to it and kind of do what you want to do. The last thing is like using it as a digital second brain. And I'm going to share with you something I've only shared with my clients. I'm going to put this on social media today. That's probably the most helpful thing that I personally use AI for. Now, what is AI? It's an LLM, which is basically a large language model. So that's ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. These are basically AI powerful systems that can like analyze, write, plan everything for you, and they scrape the internet also for data as well. So in terms of the 3 tools you need, number 1 would be ChatGPT. In my opinion, this is the best AI that everyone should be using. If you're currently using ChatGPT as your main AI, like LLM, drop ChatGPT in the chat. I was using Claude quite heavily maybe 6 to 9 months ago, but they very heavily updated their system essentially in terms of how it essentially works, and we can kind of go through some of that today. Secondly is Gamma. This presentation is actually made on Gamma. The whole thing was done in AI. I just put a good prompt in and I knew how to get it to work. So like this literally took 30 seconds to make. The third thing is Go High Level AI. Now, Go High Level is a CRM system AI platform now that is absolutely sick. Is anyone not using Go High Level in here at the moment? If that's you, just put not me in the chat, because this is the platform that, oh dude, okay. So I filmed some YouTube videos on this recently and we're going to talk about this today with Go High Level. So Go High Level is originally like a CRM system. So it builds funnel. It's like a Swiss Army knife, does everything. But they're very heavily integrating into AI. So you can put AI chatbots in there. You can do, they have AI dialing now. You can build funnels with AI, websites, literally absolutely everything. So I'm going to show you some of what that looks like kind of today. And I've got, I think I've got a 30-day trial link I can share with you as well. So firstly, if we take this one by one, we look at ChatGPT. So this is the best thing we should be using. Now, there's some key pieces of information you have to put into ChatGPT to get this to work exactly how you want. Now, I would write these down or screenshot this because this is probably the most valuable thing you can get from this call and this workshop is what I'm showing you on screen right now. I cannot tell you more and more and more, hammer this to you. So firstly is sales call transcripts. So if you get a batch of 10 to 50, ideally as many Zoom call transcripts as you can, and then you upload those in a project file in ChatGPT, and I'll show you how to do that for anyone who doesn't know how to do it, that will give you a great data source. You can also use ChatGPT to analyze your sales calls, and I will show you exactly how to do some of this. The second thing is an Ocean personality test. Has anyone heard of that before? So this is basically called the Big Five, and essentially what you want to do is get your best client you have to fill in the test. What you then do is you upload the Ocean profile test into AI, and then essentially it then has the psychological makeup of your perfect client, how to manipulate them, what content to say, like what word to say, how to manipulate maybe their ego, the way they think, anything from that kind of perspective. And what I'm going to do to make this easy, I've got loads of stuff I'm going to drop in the chat. So this is a free link I just dropped in the chat for you now on the Big Five personality test, and I will show you also what one of these looks like when it is completed. So 1 second, let me just find an example. So if anyone wants to laugh, I will show you mine, which is kind of on the spectrum of semi-autistic. Let me see if I can find it. So something I would highly recommend everyone does is you get everyone in your business to fill in, who works for you, the Big Five Ocean Personality Test. And essentially what you would do is you will get back something like this. So this is mine, my personality. So I'm highly extroverted, very emotionally stable. I've got 0 agreeableness, so apparently I won't agree with anyone. I clearly think I know best. Conscientiousness is very high, and my intellect is 96 out of 100, and imagination. So like that gives a clear breakdown in terms of kind of the way I think. So if you put this data then into ChatGPT, it then knows how to trigger me. So for example, if my agreeableness is very low, it means I have, this fucking sounds really bad now. You have some form of like superiority complex, or you think you know a lot. So it will try and manipulate you off your ego of maybe not achieving certain things, right? So like this is essentially what you want to do, of how to make your language in your copy, in your marketing so good that when your people who are actually like watching and listening to your content feel like you're actually reading their mind. Because essentially you are. Because you've done a personality breakdown of your ideal person, and then you've run that through AI. You've also got the sales call transcripts to know the exact problems all these people have. And this is where it's like shooting fish in a barrel. So this is essentially what we're going to be focusing on in terms of, from a marketing perspective, why this is getting easier and easier. The third thing is something called the hero's journey. So we teach clients instead of the scaling system something called the attractive character framework. It's either 14 to 16 questions where essentially you break down who you are, where you've come from, what you've overcome, like the hero's journey. Now, why is this important? Because it then means that ChatGPT has the information on you, because it then knows exactly what to say and then how to say it, and storytell on your background. Because we have to remember, one of the most important things is, yes, we can have the information of people we want to kind of like manipulate, which is essentially what marketing is. We can have the background and the pain points from the sales calls, but we also want to weave in our own stories. The fourth thing we can have is an authentic voice guide. Now, this is essentially, actually I'll ask you guys a question. Who here's put stuff in ChatGPT or AI and it just sounds like rubbish, like absolutely awful? Like, who here's had this problem and it sounds like a 5-year-old's written it? Yeah, okay, everyone. So I'm going to show you one way to kind of get this more into your own language. I'll give you, who wants a hack for this? I'll give you guys something, a gift. So let me just grab you this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in a chat. I'm not going to go through it now, but I think this will just be very helpful for you, is an SOP which you should be able to copy. I will show you what it looks like, which is this, which is how to create your own voice profile using AI. I'm not going to go through this now, but you can take that and you can make a copy of this, and then you guys can have that, and that will help you to do this. So this is a key part of using AI, so it doesn't sound like AI, because I can read people's copy, I can read people's messages sometimes, and it's so obvious when something's poorly done with AI, which is what we want to try and avoid, right? So, because the moment you have content that's going out like that, it's going to come out very inauthentic, and it's not going to work for you. Now, the next thing we want to look at is a banned words and style guide. Who here looks at people's copy on social media, emails, whatever, landing pages, and has like hyphens and stuff like that? Dude, like no one writes a hyphen in a sentence unless it's from AI. So essentially what we want to do is you want to create a banned words and style guide. I will show you essentially what this looks like, and I can probably give you this as well. So this would be an example of a document you would upload into ChatGPT into a project file. I will show you what a project file is after this as well. Basically, it's an example of like, don't use any of these phrases here, because it's kind of like the generic crap that AI will come out with. Formatting rules, like no dashes in sentences. Do not use short punchy sentences instead, like break through into separate lines. Very clear in terms of like how I want it to kind of communicate, right? So this is an important thing you really want to have in place. Let me see if I can do this. Can I upload an attachment into chat? I was going to say, there you go. I want to give you guys this as well. It's like Santa Claus, but for AI. There you go. So that is uploading into Zoom. So there's going to be a banned words list. You can upload this into your ChatGPT project files as well. So this is how we have to set the system up so then it actually works for you and not against you. You don't get frustrated, so it's just spewing out garbage. So these are the 5 things you want to make sure that you have in as a minimum. There are other things we can layer on, and I'm going to talk about some of that as well. Second tool. So this is Gamma. I'm actually on Gamma right now, and you can use this to create presentations. So for example, the Gamma app will look like this. It's maybe like $15, $20 a month. You can create templates in terms of essentially what you want, and then you literally just come to create a new presentation. You paste in the text you want, and then do you know what you do for this here? You use AI to write the text here, and this is kind of thing we teach our clients, is how to essentially like manipulate AI and use these different tools together, because you can use AI to actually help you use AI correctly. It's using prompts to create prompts essentially, which is kind of the way we want to be thinking. So Gamma is a great thing if you're going to do any types of presentations, you're doing presentations with clients, anything like that will save you a lot of time. Next thing is Go High Level. So a lot of you guys aren't using Go High Level right now. You just mentioned the chat, so I would highly recommend using this. We've been using this for me. Transparently, I also have ClickFunnels because I like to have some of the awards and stuff behind me, and I use them from the OG days, and I just kind of stayed with them because a lot of our funnels on there. We've moved a lot to Go High Level now as well, but it does make a big difference in terms of Go High Level and everything being in one place. I can talk about Canva AI at the end of this as well. Canva AI it's okay. If you guys want a free 28-day trial to Go High Level as well, I'll drop a link in the chat now so you guys can get access to that. I'll just save this link. You can do it afterwards, or I can send it out afterwards. So if we look at Go High Level, essentially what does this do, and then how can we use AI in here? If we look at this is like a demo account of ours, the key things I would first look at would be from that have the most value would be, for example, from a site perspective. Like you can literally build an entire funnel with AI, and like I'll show you how like wild this is. So let's say test funnel. Oh no, sorry, it's AI. Continue. Let's say we're going to do Giacomo PT. Don't know why I just entered then. Is that just gone through? Okay, so let me go back. I think I accidentally pressed enter. Okay, so go final AI, continue, Giacomo. So how you spell it? There you go. I hash that? No, there's an O there, you go. Select industry. Oh, sorry, I think I've got it. So let's say it doesn't have online coaching, but let's just do personal training for now. I'm looking for a funnel for my personal training business to generate more leads. You can choose how you want the funnel to look, but let's say we want to go for professional. Let's say we're going to click on generate. Now, essentially what this is going to do, like it's going to create the whole funnel for us, the whole website. It's going to build everything out. Now, like bear in mind, this is going to be generic because it knows diddly squat about Giacomo at the moment. We would obviously have to kind of fill this out, but it'll give you a very good overlay in terms of like how this works and what this kind of looks like, right? And if anyone's tried to build a funnel from scratch before, it can take quite a long time, even just to get the layout and stuff in terms of the way you'd want it. Whereas this will literally do it for you in, it's probably, I'm guessing, 60 to 90 seconds by the time this kind of loads. So if you haven't got a website or a funnel, this is definitely something I would use because it can save you a lot of time doing this. Now, why do you need to have a funnel on a website? Because it allows you to capture people's data. If you also want to run Facebook ads, one of the most important things you need to have by having a website is having the Facebook pixel on there, because it allows you to retarget people who hit the websites as well. So this is essentially then Giacomo's website. It will then come through, and obviously this is super like generic, but you would just come through and kind of change it to what you want in images, right? But the whole thing will be fully functional. You can set it live, and that's kind of how easy it is to make funnels and websites on here pretty much instantaneously. So like that would be one big thing would be from the funnels perspective. The second is going to be from a AI automation from say DM. So let's say, see if I probably can't do it on a demo account. I have to find one that actually connects to an Instagram account. So you can basically toggle on and off DMs. Let's see if this works on here. You have to have it set up, but we don't have it set up on any of these accounts. Let me see. Let me see if I can find one. So you can, there you go, Chinese and training maybe? See if that comes up. Sorry, I'm just going to find an IG account, which I've got too many Go High Level accounts. There we go. So essentially with the Go High Level AI, like this is This is actually AI running right now on this account. Like, this is not a human being. So this is someone who's messaged in on our AI, and the AI is now responding to them. So this is not a real person, someone asking for an editing job. So like, literally can handle kind of the whole conversation flow. But what is helpful as well is you can turn it off. So you can turn it bot on and off. You can edit it. You can also have it in the perspective where it can come up with like suggestions as well. So if you've got like a DM setter and you want to control what they're saying or try and help them in terms of a conversation, you can actually adjust that in the settings and in the conversation AI. You can adjust the way the messaging is kind of handled. You can also upload knowledge bases into this, like how you talk. Those documents I showed you initially, in terms of like your own authentic voice you need to create, that's the type of thing you upload into here, and then it allows you to be able to create a DM setting bot that will handle conversations. Now, if I'm radically transparent with you guys, which is my goal, is to tell you the best way to kind of make money in your business, do I think you should have AI DM bots going 24/7? No, because unless you have a lot of lead flow, you're going to probably burn some leads, and a human being who's well trained will do better than an AI bot. If you have a lot of volume or you just need certain hours covered, it's a good tool to kind of turn on and off. The third thing is going to be looking at AI workflows. So does anyone here struggle in terms of like automating stuff in their business or tech? Like, just put me in the chat for that as well. So I can go in kind of more detail with that. Okay, so there's a few people. Okay, cool. So essentially how this works, I'm going to try not to break something in my business. I'll go back to the demo account. This is why we try not to use things on live. Let's have a look. So what you can do here is you can automate pretty much anything. And with Go High Level, what it does is, let's see if I can do this. It will help you with AI in terms of how to do this. So here you go. So this is basically like an automation flow in Go High Level. And what you do is click Workflow AI, and you basically just ask it what you want to do. So let's say, please map out a onboarding sequence for a new fitness client coming into my business. Actually, do you guys want me to show you how I would actually do this? So this is what I would do. I would actually, to make sure this is good, you want to make sure you have a good prompt. So this is a massive hack. Please write me a prompt to put into GHL, what's it called? GHL Workflow, I think. Let me just check if it's right. GHL Workflow AI to make the perfect onboarding sequence for a new fitness client joining my business. I want it to send them a questionnaire and register, and I don't know, say tag their email address or something. I apologise, my spelling is horrendous. So this will now essentially give us a prompt. You know, I said earlier using prompts to make prompts. This would be an example in terms of how to do this. You would literally just try and make this as specific as possible. Okay, this is really slow for some reason. So then essentially what we do is we will then copy that into Go High Level, and then it should then map out the whole thing for us. I actually think this has kind of got this wrong because it's actually writing the emails. Do not write the emails, just write the prompt for the overview structure. So this is where sometimes you need to kind of go back and forth with it a bit. Yeah, that's better. So like, you can see how there it went the wrong way because I asked it the question the wrong, like not specifically enough. So sometimes you need to kind of be more specific in terms of what you want to ask, right? So essentially then I would just literally just copy paste this into the workflow. Ooh. And then this will then build out. So where is it? Here we go. Okay, so if I leave that now, it will then just tell me how to do everything kind of step by step. We will come back to that because it sometimes takes 30 seconds. So these are the three big things I would focus on using Go High Level for. It also has a lot of other things in terms of from email databases, you can do SMS messaging, you can do dialing, but these are the three that are probably the most effective alongside like tagging and managing your inbox. So you can see now it's actually just mapped out for me exactly how to do this. So Here's just a setup for your onboarding automation, workflow trigger, contact submitted form. So literally trigger would be literally type submitted form and form submitted. And you literally just kind of follow the steps by steps. So it will tell you how to do everything. If you struggle from a technical aspect, it kind of foolproofs it. So that's go high level in terms of specifically how I would use that. Now, what we want to feed into our AI is we have to remember like garbage in, garbage out. If you put poor information, a bit like the prompt I just showed you where it didn't work because it wasn't specific enough, then it won't work well. So this is why we have to be uploading sales calls recordings into here, the personality test and all those other documents. And then if we keep this within the room here as well, what I would do if you want to create a second brain in AI, who wants to know how to do that? Put a second brain in the chat, and I'm going to show you. This is the sickest thing. So I would use, let's see if we've got any in here. Okay, cool, we've got some in here. So anyone who's got a note taker in the room, so Callum, Dan, who else have we got in here who's got a note taker? I think that's it. So what I would do, I use something called Otter AI as a note taker. It follows me around everywhere. This is also kind of creepy, but if I go for dinner with anyone or have a meeting with anyone who's really interesting, I will have my phone on record and I will record the conversation. Now, I can see some people laughing. It's kind of weird, but it's actually really fucking genius. And I'm about to show you why. So essentially what I do is I will then come in to Otter AI, and this is basically what it looks like internally. I can come in here, I can take all of these transcripts, and then I upload them into ChatGPT in terms of project file. So then what am I doing? I am building a huge knowledge base every day, every week on everything I say, everything I'm doing. So it knows everything about me, about my business, what I specifically do. And this is where it's scary in terms of how much easier it is for you to then build your business, because even if you put kind of like a vague prompt in, it has enough specific information on you because there's so much data in there that it will then work. So like, this is a huge thing you want to be doing that's going to allow you to help to scale your business. Now, the next thing to talk about is AI for content. So we spoke before in terms of a lot of you guys struggle sometimes to get the messaging right on this. So the big thing you have to think about is actually how are you getting the information to make your content that's actually relevant to individuals. Now, if you're using the data that is from sales calls, and I can give you the exact prompt sheet in terms of how to do this, it is so powerful that it's wild, because it literally will just extract the actual things you need to talk about that your clients care about. So this is an AI prompt cheat sheet, and this is for our clients, but I'll give it to you anyway. So for example, how to use AI content, essentially this is what we do. This is called the waterfall prompt, and this is the first thing we want to put in. So you would take like 50 sales call transcripts, you would drop them in. If you have 50, great. If you have 5, great, just as many as you have. And then what we're basically going to ask it to do is pull the top 10 negative emotional pain points mentioned across these calls, focus on fear, frustration, self-doubt, confusion, overwhelm, or urgency. Rewrite each pain point as short, hard-hitting content hooks that would get high engagement on social media aimed at XYZ audience, obviously for your specific audience. Use the ocean profile of our ideal client as a reference, which I've attached. We spoke about that earlier. Make the hooks polarizing, triggering, scroll stopping, not bland. Avoid generic tips or surface level advice. And then also give me 5 angles I could use for long form content. If you do that, then you can also ask for that. So this is how we pull this out to then get exactly what we want from our sales calls. And this is where it's really specific in terms of the analogy of hitting the nail on the head in terms of when you're kind of speaking to people. So I would do this continually, and this is a really easy way to kind of review your business. And this is exactly how we've used things like this with some of our clients, like Dom, who went from made 5K I think in 2 weeks just using this. He was a PT in person, and he just upgraded to something scaling systems for our beginner program, Fit Pro launch systems. Mainly, he got very quick success. Why? Because he leveraged the AI things we've been teaching him. Because if you use these tools, it's much, much, much easier to get the hit you want. Because the reality is, you don't need to have 50,000 views of video. All you need is 1,000 right people with the right messaging that makes them take the action you want. And then you have a business that absolutely crushes. And if you ultimately, even within the world, if you had 1,000 people who know and love you, you will never run out of money in your business ever again. And that's essentially what you kind of need to be building. Now, the second thing we look at is AI from a sales perspective. So who here struggles with a sales call perspective? Or like you think you're less than an 8 sales? Just drop a me in the chat. Who thinks they're less than that? Or does everyone think they're like Jordan Belfort? Okay, so cool. So we've got some realists. So sales is a game you never truly master, right? You can't constantly kind of got the student, which is exactly the same in terms of business generally. So what I'm going to do is show you some hacks. So this is what you want to be doing is you want to be creating project files. So within ChatGPT, you want to be creating project files. Now, what I would do is I would create a project file. You want to be uploading your sales call transcripts. You would also see, Jake, your name is in here. Jake, and I put like team members and managers' roles and responsibilities in here as well. So I have one for analyzing sales team data and another one for analyzing sales call somewhere. And essentially what we basically do is I would also cross-reference, which I'm probably jumping ahead at. Okay, so this is, sorry, I'm jumping around a bit because I get too excited. What we do, you take your sales transcripts, you upload them into the AI, you ask it to review, I will show you the prompt to do that. And then essentially what we do is we also upload our sales frameworks and sales scripts. Why? Because we use the transcript of AI and how the call went with the feedback on our actual sales conversations, sales framework scripts, and then we ask the AI to analyze the script of how can the script be improved to help break the objection, improve the closing. And again, this is where we're using data to improve your business. And you can do this at mass scale. So we take 100 calls, 150 calls a week maybe. At one point our fitness business was doing like 90 plus sales calls a day. It was like wild. If I was to sit there and try and listen to all those calls, I could have to listen to like 4 at the same time. Now you can analyze like 50 in one go. So how we essentially kind of do that is this. So reviewing sales calls with AI, you basically obviously export the call recordings, and then there's a specific prompt you can use here in ChatGPT. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, you want to take a photo of that, this is literally what I would do. I would ask it to summarize the key points from the call, rate the call out of 10, identify the top 3 mistakes or missed opportunities, extract the biggest pain points, compare the call to our current sales script, where the script falls short, what objections, and then this is really important if you're analyzing someone else's calls. Give me the exact timestamps of sections I need to watch back and review. Be direct, be specific, don't sugarcoat, think like a sales training, what to fix, what's working fast. So like this is the prompt we want to be using, and that's really going to give you the kind of horsepower to make sure you optimize your sales, because this is how simple it is for you to scale a business for everyone on this call. Literally, get traffic, book sales calls, and close sales calls. That's the only 3 things we need to do. And we can use AI to help us through all of those 3 things. Now, we've also got a bigger team as well. You can use it to analyze the whole data across that. And if I look at a great example of this would be one of our clients, Dave Kennedy. So he's just done 250K a month. If anyone doesn't know who Dave is, I will show you because this is kind of fucking mental. So Dave is from Ireland. He first came to us and was doing 15K a month. He has now scaled his business very rapidly, and he is here. So 238,000 a month. So Dave is a farmer from Ireland. He is using AI. He's using AI to manage his sales teams. He's using all of this stuff to really kind of help him scale his business, because this has given him a superpower in terms of exactly what he needs, which is to scale really fast, to be specific with what he does. So that's exactly what I'm going to look at from a sales perspective. Now, if we look at from a coaching perspective, from fulfillment, one of the best things you can do here is actually analyze exactly what you're doing. So a lot of people don't realize this. I was going to ask, who does check-ins via Loom? Like, do you send your check-ins to clients via Loom? You do screen recordings? Like, who in here is doing that? Okay, so we've got Dawn does. Anyone else? Dan? Anyone else? I apologize, it's 6:30 at night and I'm drinking energy drinks, which is kind of excessive, but there you go. Phone or Zoom. Okay, cool. Zoom's recorded, so that's fine. So, if you're doing Loom, does anyone guess what you should do? Can anyone guess what you should do if you're using Loom? Just drop it in the chat. I've just raised my own hand, I should lower that down. Okay, no takers yet. Okay, so what you want to do if you're using Loom, Alan's hit the fucking nail on the head, my friend. So we want to be uploading, you go, put it into AI. So we want to upload the Loom video into AI and ask for feedback. So like it can give you feedback on coaching calls, it can give you feedback on anything you're doing. So that's very powerful. If you're doing Zoom calls with clients, you can also do that. Just ask, okay, rate me out of 10 as a coach, how can I improve? Because you don't know what you don't know. The biggest tax everyone is paying on this call is ignorance tax. Like you don't know what you don't know. And like that's something I've been paranoid about my entire life, which is why I'm constantly trying to learn, which is why I've got millions of books behind me. And I actually would transparently say I don't think books are the best way to learn anymore, because you can, if anyone wants to hack for AI, I would literally just pick a book like, I don't know, Breathe by James Nestor is the first one I can see. Like, give me the 10 biggest takeaways from Breathe from James Nestor that I should implement into my daily routine or something. Like, you can save yourself a lot of time. So really focus on using this for as many things as you kind of think of. And this is where you're probably starting to realize that AI isn't going to replace everyone. AI is going to replace the people who aren't smart enough to think about how to use it correctly. And a very good friend of mine is a guy called Dan Priestley, some of you guys might know. And he said this to me when we did a podcast maybe about October last year. And he said that if you had a marketing team of 100 people, what's going to happen? AI is going to replace 98, and the best 2 will be able to do the work of 100, if not more, and beat them. Because they're smart, they know what questions to ask, and they know what hooks work and that kind of angles. And this is where you constantly kind of got to keep learning. Now, if you want to know the best thing that I just said to you guys about, and this is amazing. So I don't know what gave me the idea for this, but it absolutely crushes. If you want to know how to get anything better on AI and how to improve it, this is literally the simplest prompt you can put in that will literally kind of change the game for you. And essentially all you do is this. So I'm just going to screen share again. So if you want to prove the output of everything, all you do is ask it to rate it out of 10 as an expert in whatever. So for example, please rate this YouTube title out of 10 as Mr. Beast. Then tell me what exactly would make this a 10 out of 10. And then after that, rewrite or improve it so it hits a 10 out of 10 standard. Like, this is how easy this is, and it will literally kind of do everything for you. So we can even play a game with this. I actually filmed a YouTube video before this, so let me just show you kind of how I think this title's really good. I didn't actually run this through AI because I just liked it, but I will show you in like first world how I would do this. So here is a YouTube title that you use. Please rate this out of 10 as Mr. Beast. If it is not a 10, give a suggestion of how to make it. So this is a title. How to actually use ads to blow up your business. 425k profit. Is that profit? Yeah. So okay. So then what it will come back with, it will rate this out of 10 for us. Now, why my AI is even more specific is because I have such a big knowledge base. It knows everything about everything I do because of all the different things I've showed you guys, right? So it doesn't like this title. I personally liked it. I thought it was quite good. We're probably going to still use it anyway. But it might give us a better option. So, see what's going to come in. That's quite good, to be fair. So, I don't know. But you can see how simple this is, right? YouTube title's probably not the best example, but you can use this across. That's quite good. You can see how effective this is. You can use it across anything. So like if you're not seeing the results with stuff you want in your content, when you're scripting it, use this type of framework. Ask it to rate it out of 10, and it will help dramatically. Now, all we have to think about in terms of what we do within 7-figure scaling systems is exactly how we help coaches in terms of scaling their business. This is like the great equalizer in terms of like your ability to grow your business right now. Because if you're not seeing the success you want, this is something you have to be focusing on, because the coaches who aren't doing that are the people who are going to get left behind. And I'd be very, very curious in terms of who on here feels they already are fully up to date in terms of with AI and with coaching. Like, who here thinks they've got a good grasp of it and they've got everything mastered? And anyone? And if you think you need to learn more to level up, put level up in the chat, because this is moving so fast that like people have no idea in terms of what's like happening. Okay, so like, and this is the game, because if you get these things right and get everything in here implemented, like I've only glossed over some of the subjects here because I could go in 10 hours long in terms of super detail, like you will grow your business faster than ever before. Because of all the things I said, it's like using 3 years ago, from a marketing perspective, we look at that first, we're using a Gatling gun approach. We're kind of just spraying and praying and hoping stuff lands. Now you can use sniper rifle precision like the Barrett 50 cal, because you can literally use the language that's going to trigger people. You can actually know their specific pain points. When they come to sales calls, you can also get them analyzed by AI and also improve your sales scripts for it. You can optimize your coaching more also to reduce the churn by using AI. And these are all things that we teach people to do within seven-figure scaling systems. I know there's a couple of people in here who are clients who are just joining, like Dawn, who's on here as well. So I know there's a few people in here. So if you guys aren't clients and aren't already working with us, the big things we help you implement are in terms of from an AI perspective. Other things we spoke about today, we can also help you in terms of plugging in custom AI DM bots. We've got AI content engines in terms of plug and play prompts for that, how to analyze your sales team data as your own, and auditing and coaching systems. And then with all of that combined with what we do and what I'd like to do with everyone who's on this call right now, I'm incredibly passionate about how people scale their business. Like I make absurd amount of like YouTube videos and free educational content to help everyone. And what I want to do for people who actually turn up and actually want to learn or take level stuff up is to basically give you 25% off our programs if you want to join and if you want to find out how to use AI and how you want to implement that. And this is essentially like a fast action discount in terms of people who book calls today. And this is not for people who wait or not for people who think about it, because I've worked with 1,000+ coaches, and at this point, like the people who are decisive and who want to like really go for the business are the people who kind of really move really quickly. And like if you wait, you kind of miss out. And it's not about saving money for people to get 25% off by booking a call to work with us today. It's about you showing that you actually want to kind of move forward fast in your business. So if you do want to scale your business and you want help with us to help you implement some of this stuff in terms of an AI perspective, if you drop AI in the chat, I will send you through a link that you can kind of book in, and it will give you 25% off of any of our programs as well. Because this is the huge thing in terms of where you're going to be going with the business is like, I can be honest as well. I kind of had a paranoia about AI maybe 4 to 6 months ago, but then I realized you only have a paranoia if you don't know how to use a thing. Because if you know how to use a thing, you can beat everyone else. And that's essentially kind of the game. And this is where you just need to kind of be ahead of everyone else. So if you want to get involved and you want to take that 25% discount off of our programs, I will grab our link and I will drop it in the chat now. If you've booked in, you've managed to get a space, then just drop in booked in, just so we've got that locked in. We should have a fair bit of space in the next few days. So I've got some guys who can go take the calls. We have a lot of extra tools also being added into seven-figure scaling systems, one of which, to show you the level of detail of what we do, is something called Charlie AI. And that's essentially an AI version of me. And that's kind of where things are kind of going, because you've got the ability, so for example, I can take 3,000 hours of my calls, upload them as a knowledge base, and you can ask me questions real time as me. It is freakishly good. And this is how powerful this kind of stuff is. So that's everything for me. I've tried not to overwhelm people with too much. Does anyone have any specific questions in terms of from a AI perspective you want to go through for the last 15 minutes? Alan, you seem to be fairly on the ball. Have you got any questions? I'll put people on the spot now. Yeah. That's right. It's okay. So the only thing I've used it for is like expanding images. So if you've got an image that's not the right crop and you want to kind of fill the top and the bottom in, it kind of works quite well for that. I would use it for that. I wouldn't use it for much else. What specifically were you looking for it to try and solve for you? Dude, Gamma's wildly good. Like that's kind of one of the things like you can make trainings, PDFs like that. It's just if you saw how earlier I used a prompt to make a prompt, that's kind of what you want to do. Actually, I'll give you guys a massive hack as well. So most people don't realize this is what is easier than typing is talking. So for example, if you wanted to make a prompt, I would click dictate, or you want to say something, you put as much detail as possible. If you click dictate, you can just talk and tell it what you want to do. As much detail as possible, and it will make it much, much easier. Kuba had a question in regards to Go High Level. Why use Go High Level instead of Instagram? So the advantage of using Go High Level is that you can put a lot of automation flows into that. So let me show you. Let me show you an example. So I'm just going to bring up the screen. Oh, why is it not going? So what you want to use Go High Level for is you can tag conversations for follow-ups, but then B is you can also create automations for conversations. So let's say if I just pick this one. So I'm just going to share screen again. We have here. So this is a lead magnet for, I think, replying from a story. So essentially someone replies to a story, they get tagged, we automatically message them, wait for a reply, we then message them again, and it kind of goes through like an initial messaging sequence. The whole thing is automated, there's not a human being there. You can also add like kind of conditional logic to this as well with AI. Other things you can do with these workflows if you wanted to is if you have a lot of sales calls that get booked, you can even cancel these automatically with AI if they don't fit a certain criteria. But the big advantage of using this is from a conversations perspective, like you can tag leads in here. Sorry, mine's a bit weird with this thing coming up. You can tag leads and then you can also follow up. So I mentioned, say for example, one of our clients, Dave, earlier on, who's doing 240,000 euros a month odd. He probably does 1,500 follow-up messages a day on Instagram. So like I hear coaches like, oh, I post like 3 times a week and I send like 5 messages a day. It's like, cool, like, dude, this is why you don't make any money, because like the minimum everyone should be doing is at least 1 post a day. And I would say the goal of what you want to be able to do, this is really, really slow, probably someone here, is 100 outbound messages a day. So like, that's kind of how simple it is. This is a new message that's come in, so there's not tag on it, but we can basically tag leads with whatever kind of we want on here as well. You can use AI on here as well if we wanted to as well. We've got it turned off, but it's basically just for kind of managing inboxes and follow-ups. Very, very powerful. If that answers your question, Kuba, then I hope so. Again, if anyone hasn't got Go High Level, I would give that a go. It's the best tool we use. Again, I'll drop the link in the chat. And then James, all recordings take from Auto AI, do you upload them to ChatGPT? So like the way I kind of structure my workflow, on Monday I take a lot of meetings, so I always upload all of my meetings in transcripts into AI on a Monday. I'll often ask for like feedback on my day, like how did I perform? Rate me out of 10, and then I will probably do it like the end of the week. I'll just upload the rest of them because I probably the rest of the week maybe take like 3-4 calls a day, not as many. It was Monday I'll maybe take 12. So I would just kind of, the big thing for that, the reason I'm doing it is knowledge base. So I can ask AI a very generic question. It can give me a very specific question, specific reply. Dan, one of the best things about Go High Level is it replaces ManyChat. So like, dude, at one point we had 3 ManyChat accounts for 3 Instagram accounts. So like, whereas that was costing us more, I think we put in like £400 a month on ManyChat, something stupid. Whereas like, I can't remember how much Go High Level, I think the cheapest one starts at $100 to maybe $300. Like, and it does everything. So it does email automations, the funnels, pretty much everything you kind of need. What other questions do we have, guys? I've got some other things I can show you as well for the last 10 minutes. I gave you guys the banned words list. In terms of prompting, I didn't show you this as well. So we spoke about content ideation, about the waterfall prompt, right? Now, one thing I would be very aware of. So one of my strengths, or so I would say superpowers, is kind of having a very good feeling in terms of, I'll release access to that, Jared, after this. I'll make sure I probably put the wrong setting on it. It's not meant to be shared, that's why you've got it. So keep these to yourself. The one thing I've got a very strong superpower in is kind of like where the market's going, kind of how things work. So if you think about what AI is doing right now, what's going to happen? Everything's become very manufactured. Everything's going to become very polished. You won't kind of be able to tell what's real and what's fake. So what's going to happen? Almost like slightly shittier content is probably going to perform better because it's more authentic to some degree, and I kind of explain why. So one of the things that I would do is you can fully script reels, so stuff like this. So we spoke about step 1 with the ideation waterfall prompt, and then steps 2 with the scripted reels, so you can ask it to script the whole thing out for you. Now, what I would do, depending on how good you are at talking on camera for everyone here, I would try either fully scripted or just have the hook scripted. So I personally, all the time, am pretty good on camera. So if I have a hook, I can just kind of rip it. So a lot of times I just want the initial hook and then we'll go from that. And that's where a thing in marketing is like 80% of your advertising dollar is in the hook. Like if you get the hook right, the thing works. Same as like kind of landing pages. So that's really what you want to kind of nail down from a prompting standpoint. And then the last thing I wanted to show, does anyone in here use long form content? If you do, put long form in the chat, like YouTube, anything like that. If not, I will not go into, okay, Cuba. So, I've got a few people. So, I'm going to ask everyone a question here. What are the 3 biggest things you need to focus on in your business that can allow growth in the next 12 to 24 months? I don't think I've said it on here. You just drop in the chat. Have it wild guesses. I'll give you a hint. AI is one of them. BRNA. I don't know what that is. It's a new one. Oh, brand. Okay. Attention. Both kind of right. I'll give you 50, half a point. It's close. So strong team's always important. That's actually transparently the hardest part of business. Like we didn't have a lead acquisition problem. We have a team acquisition problem. More engaging content and systems for AI sales, staying ahead of the curve. Cool. Okay, anything else? Right. So using AI to create content. Okay. So AI is like pillar 1. Pillar number 2 is long form content, and let me explain why. I said earlier that people are going to want authenticity. They're going to want trust. Where do people get authenticity and trust? Long form content. Are they going to get that from a 30-second reel that's fully scripted and super edited? No. So the other thing you have to think about is who in here is going to have their business for more than 12 months. Put 12 months in the chat. Like, I presume everyone wants to do this for at least 3 to 5 years. Otherwise, you're probably not in school. So why long form is powerful is because it's leverage. People are watching videos right now that I made 7 years ago, which is kind of weird. So we want to be thinking about that in terms of like always building leverage in a business where we're kind of pulling people into our ecosystem. Something we talk about and teach a lot in 7-figure scaling systems is the spider web market technique. So second thing, long form. Third is paid advertising. Now, why paid advertising? Because essentially if you can pay for traffic and you make money, you have a cash machine. So essentially the goal is we filmed a YouTube video. I'm just going to put it over there. We filmed a YouTube video on this obnoxiously large whiteboard I bought yesterday, breaking down how I made $426,000 in 6 months and spent $238,000 as profit. So the reality of why that works is because of all the things I spoke about. AI, long form content, and also having the right systems in place. But we can scale that up and pull more people into our ecosystem in the world. And that's really what you want to be focusing on, because why those 3 things work together, AI will help you to make the ads that actually speaks to the right person. Facebook ads is run on an AI algorithm to target the right person. Number 2, long form content is going to warm the people up that you're going to actually pull through from everything. And you can also use AI to make that really crush, like I've already showed you. And then you can also use AI to reverse engineer YouTube videos that have done well. Yeah, correct. A tool you can use that's very good for that is called Poppy AI. I won't go through that now because it's quite a lengthy thing to go into, but that would be an example of something else. So if you guys are looking to really kind of crank up your business and you want to take this to the next level with what you're doing, like this is specifically what we will help you do in terms of from a AI perspective, because this is like the gold rush of coaching when it kind of first happened, maybe like 2017, 2018. It reminds me of I don't even know if I'm too old, but like when Gymshark came out and started doing like influencer marketing, like it crushed for like 24 months, 36 months. We have like a 2-3 year window where people won't adopt AI fast enough where you can actually rape this. So that's a kind of a loose term to us, but I apologize for my language sometimes. So if you want help implementing that, if you hit the link in the chat, you can book in with us and we'll walk you through the whole process in terms of how to do that. We've also got other YouTube videos for free, you can check this out. And if you've taken value from this today, drop a yes in the chat and I will keep putting out these workshops because transparently the £7 or £50 for the extra stuff you guys paid doesn't kind of change my world, but I really like trying to give back and give you guys as much value as possible because I understand how difficult it is to grow a coaching business. And the last thing I want to say to everyone is here, I use the word difficult, but for you to grow your business, it is simple. It's just still hard work. And it's simple when you know how. And I've spent the last 7-8 years like figuring out the know-how to make it simpler for you so you don't make all the stupid mistakes I've made, and then you can scale your business as fast as possible. So if I can have one small ask from you, if you guys took value from this, take a photo and tag me in your stories, I will repost it, I'll share it everywhere. I also don't live in a brothel, we've just got a pig light behind me, it looks kind of ropey. So big thank you for everyone who came on today, and just make sure that you implement the stuff we taught you, and then you will scale really, really fast. Ross, I'll see you tomorrow later in the week whenever we're booked in, and I hope everyone else has a wonderful rest of the evening. See ya.